Every 3 seconds, somewhere in the world, someone suffers a fracture due to osteoporosis. And here's what most people don't know. While you're focused on calcium and magnesium, there are 3 other minerals that research shows could be just as critical for your bones after 50, and most people aren't getting enough of them. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these minerals are, why scientists are calling them bone protectors, and how to make sure you're getting them. Let's get started. The bone density crisis. Bone health after 50 isn't just about avoiding fractures, it's about maintaining your independence, your mobility, and your quality of life. According to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, approximately 10 million Americans have osteoporosis, and another 44 million have low bone density, putting them at increased risk. Here's what happens as we age. Starting around age 30, we begin losing bone mass. For women, this accelerates dramatically after menopause due to declining estrogen levels. Men experience a more gradual decline, but by age 65, they're losing bone at the same rate as women. The consequences: hip fractures, spine fractures, wrist fractures. Research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research indicates that up to 50% of women and 25% of men over 50 will experience an osteoporosis-related fracture in their lifetime. Now, most people immediately think, I need more calcium, maybe some vitamin D and magnesium. And yes, those are important. But cutting-edge research has identified 3 other minerals that play powerful, often overlooked roles in bone health. These aren't trendy supplements or health fads. These are nutrients backed by peer-reviewed science. Let's break down each one. Mineral number 1. Zinc, the bone builder. Why zinc is critical for your bones. Mineral number 1 is zinc. And before you think, isn't that just for immune health? Zinc does so much more. According to the National Institutes of Health, zinc is essential for proper bone tissue formation and mineralization. Here's how it works at the cellular level. Your bones are constantly being remodeled through 2 types of cells. Osteoblasts build new bone, while osteoclasts break down old bone. Zinc is crucial for osteoblast activity. These are literally the construction workers building your bone structure. What the research shows. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition examined over 1,400 adults and found that those with higher zinc intake had significantly better bone mineral density, particularly in the hip and spine. Another study in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology indicated that zinc deficiency may be associated with increased fracture risk in elderly populations. But zinc doesn't work alone. Research suggests it supports the production of collagen, the protein matrix that gives bones their flexibility. May help regulate the balance between bone formation and bone breakdown. Appears to influence how your body uses vitamin D, which is essential for calcium absorption. Studies indicate it may have anti-inflammatory properties that could benefit bone health. The zinc deficiency problem. Here's something concerning. According to research from Oregon State University, up to 12% of Americans may be at risk for zinc deficiency, and this risk increases with age. Why? Reduced absorption in the digestive tract as we age. Certain medications, including diuretics and antibiotics, can interfere with zinc absorption. Vegetarian and vegan diets may be lower in bioavailable zinc. High calcium supplementation can reduce zinc absorption. How much zinc do you need? The recommended dietary allowance for adults over 50 is 8 milligrams per day for women, 11 milligrams per day for men. According to the NIH, the upper limit is 40 milligrams per day for adults. Best food sources of zinc. Let's talk about getting zinc from food, always the best option. Oysters. 6 medium oysters provide about 32 milligrams, that's 400% of your daily needs. Red meat. A 3-ounce serving of beef provides about 7 milligrams. Poultry. 3 ounces of dark chicken meat has about 2.4 milligrams. Crab and lobster. 3 ounces provides about 3 to 7 milligrams depending on the type. Fortified cereals can provide 25 to 100% of daily needs. Beans and legumes. Chickpeas, lentils, and beans provide 1 to 2 milligrams per cooked cup. Nuts and seeds, pumpkin seeds, cashews, and almonds are good sources. Dairy products. Cheese and milk provide smaller amounts. Important caution. While zinc is essential, more isn't always better. Excessive zinc supplementation can interfere with copper absorption, potentially leading to copper deficiency and neurological problems. It may also suppress immune function in high doses. This is exactly why working with a healthcare provider is crucial before starting any supplement regimen. Mineral number 2. Boron, the mineral multiplier. The mineral you've probably never heard of. Mineral number 2 is boron, and this is where things get really interesting. Boron doesn't get much attention, but research suggests it may be one of the most important minerals for bone health, especially after 50. The groundbreaking research. The U.S. Department of Agriculture conducted pioneering research on boron in the 1980s and 1990s. What they found was remarkable. Boron appears to influence how your body metabolizes other minerals that are crucial for bone health. A landmark study published in Environmental Health Perspectives examined postmenopausal women who were given 3 milligrams of boron daily. The results? Their urinary excretion of calcium decreased by 44%, and magnesium excretion decreased by 33%. In other words, boron helped their bodies hold on to these critical bone minerals instead of losing them through urine. How boron works its magic. According to research compiled by the National Institutes of Health, boron may support bone health through several mechanisms. 1. Mineral metabolism. Studies suggest boron affects how the body handles calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, all essential for bone structure. 2. Hormone influence. Research indicates boron may influence estrogen and testosterone levels. This is particularly important for postmenopausal women, as declining estrogen is a major factor in bone loss. 3. Vitamin D activation. Some studies suggest boron may help activate vitamin D, which is necessary for calcium absorption in the gut. 4. Inflammation reduction. Emerging research indicates boron may have anti-inflammatory properties, and chronic inflammation can accelerate bone loss. More supporting evidence. A study in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology found that populations in areas with higher boron content in drinking water had lower rates of arthritis and osteoporosis. While this doesn't prove causation, it certainly suggests an association worth exploring. Another study published in Biological Trace Element Research indicated that boron supplementation improved markers of bone formation in postmenopausal women. How much boron do you need? Here's where it gets tricky. Unlike zinc, there's no official recommended daily allowance for boron established by the U.S. government. However, based on the available research, studies suggest 1 to 3 milligrams per day may be beneficial for bone health. The average American gets about 1 to 2 milligrams daily from food. Some researchers believe the optimal intake may be closer to 3 to 6 milligrams for bone health benefits. The safe upper limit is considered to be 20 milligrams per day. Best food sources of boron. The good news: boron is widely available in plant-based foods. Avocados. 1 avocado provides about 2 to 3 milligrams. Prunes. A half-cup serving provides about 1.5 milligrams. Raisins. A half-cup provides about 1.2 milligrams. Peaches and apples, fresh or dried, provide 0.5 to 1 milligram. Peanuts and almonds. An ounce provides 0.5 to 1 milligram. Beans. Kidney beans, chickpeas provide about 0.7 milligrams per cup. Potatoes. 1 medium potato provides about 0.5 milligrams. Red wine and coffee. Moderate amounts, but don't overdo it. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and nuts will typically provide adequate boron. However, heavy processing of foods can significantly reduce boron content. Special consideration. Boron deficiency appears to be relatively uncommon in people who eat a varied diet with plenty of plant foods. However, older adults who have reduced their fruit and vegetable intake may be at higher risk. Mineral number 3. Silicon, the collagen connector. The structural support your bones need. The third mineral is silicon, specifically, the bioavailable form called orthosilicic acid found in food and water. And here's why this matters. Your bones aren't just hard, mineralized tissue. They have a flexible collagen framework that gives them strength and resilience. Silicon appears to be essential for that framework. Think of it this way. If calcium and phosphorus are the bricks of your bone structure, collagen is the mortar holding everything together. Without adequate collagen, bones become brittle and prone to fracture, even if calcium levels are adequate. The Framingham study evidence. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from the famous Framingham Offspring study, a long-term research project tracking thousands of people. Research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research analyzed silicon intake and bone mineral density in over 2,800 participants. The results were striking. Higher dietary silicon intake was associated with greater bone mineral density at the hip in men and premenopausal women. Participants in the highest quartile of silicon intake had significantly better bone density than those in the lowest quartile. The relationship was particularly strong for men and younger women. How silicon supports bone health. According to research reviewed in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging, silicon may support bones through multiple pathways. 1. Collagen synthesis. Silicon appears to be essential for the formation and cross-linking of collagen and elastin, the proteins that give bones their flexible strength. 2. Bone mineralization. Studies suggest silicon is involved in the early stages of bone calcification, helping minerals like calcium deposit properly. 3. Synergistic effects. Research indicates silicon may work together with calcium and vitamin D to enhance bone formation. 4. Connective tissue health. Silicon isn't just for bones. It may also support cartilage, tendons, and ligaments, all of which affect skeletal health. More supporting research. A study in Osteoporosis International examined silicon supplementation in postmenopausal women with osteopenia, low bone density. After 1 year, those receiving silicon supplements showed improvements in markers of bone collagen formation compared to the placebo group. Another study published in BMC Musculoskeletal Disorders found that silicon supplementation increased bone mineral density in women with osteoporosis who were already taking calcium and vitamin D. How much silicon do you need? Like boron, there's no official recommended daily allowance for silicon. However, based on research, studies suggest 25 to 50 milligrams per day may be beneficial for bone health. The average dietary intake varies widely from 20 to 50 milligrams per day depending on diet. Some researchers believe optimal intake may be at the higher end of this range. Silicon from food is considered very safe with no known upper limit. Best food sources of silicon. Silicon content in foods varies based on soil conditions and processing methods. High silicon foods. Whole grains, oats, barley, and brown rice, 15 to 30 milligrams per serving. Green beans, about 7 milligrams per cup. Bananas, about 5 milligrams per medium banana. Spinach, about 5 milligrams per cooked cup. Raisins, about 8 milligrams per half cup. Mineral water, can provide 5 to 20 milligrams per liter, check labels. Beer, contains 6 to 12 milligrams per 12 ounces, from barley, but alcohol has bone risks. Critical note about processing. This is important. Silicon is largely found in the fiber-rich parts of grains and vegetables. Heavy processing removes much of the silicon content. For example, whole wheat flour contains 10 times more silicon than white flour. Brown rice has significantly more silicon than white rice. Whole oats have more silicon than instant oatmeal. This is yet another reason why whole, minimally processed foods are superior for overall health. Bioavailability matters. Not all forms of silicon are equally absorbed. The orthosilicic acid form found in water and some plant foods is most bioavailable. Some research suggests that silicon from whole grains may be less well absorbed than silicon from water or certain supplements, but more research is needed in this area. The synergy effect. Why these minerals work better together. Here's something crucial that research keeps confirming. Nutrients don't work in isolation. Your body is a complex system where minerals and vitamins work together synergistically. Studies indicate that boron helps your body retain calcium and magnesium. Silicon works with calcium to properly mineralize bone. Zinc influences vitamin D metabolism, which affects calcium absorption. All three may have anti-inflammatory effects that protect bone health. This is why the evidence consistently points to a whole foods, nutrient-dense diet rather than relying on isolated supplements. When you eat a variety of whole foods, you're getting not just these 3 minerals, but dozens of other beneficial compounds that work together. Practical action steps. What you can do starting today. Based on the research from organizations like the National Osteoporosis Foundation, Mayo Clinic, and NIH, here's a comprehensive approach to supporting bone health after 50. 1. Optimize your diet. Focus on getting these bone-supporting nutrients from food. Include zinc-rich foods, shellfish, meat, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Eat boron-rich foods, avocados, prunes, raisins, nuts, and plenty of fruits and vegetables. Choose silicon-rich foods, whole grains, green beans, bananas, and mineral water. Don't forget calcium sources: dairy, fortified plant milk, leafy greens, sardines with bones. Ensure adequate magnesium: nuts, seeds, whole grains, dark chocolate, leafy greens. 2. Weight-bearing exercise. This is non-negotiable. Research consistently shows that exercise, particularly weight-bearing and resistance training, is crucial for maintaining bone density. Activities like walking, jogging, or dancing, strength training with weights or resistance bands, yoga and Tai Chi for balance and bone stress. At least 30 minutes most days of the week. 3. Get adequate vitamin D. According to the NIH, most adults over 50 need 600 to 800 IU daily, though some may need more. Sources include sensible sun exposure, 10 to 30 minutes several times per week. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. Fortified dairy or plant milk. Egg yolks. Supplements if needed. Get your levels tested. 4. Limit bone-damaging factors. Research shows these can accelerate bone loss. Excessive alcohol consumption, more than 2 to 3 drinks per day. Smoking significantly increases fracture risk. Excessive sodium intake can increase calcium loss. Too much caffeine, more than 3 to 4 cups of coffee daily. Sedentary lifestyle. 5. Get screened. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force recommends bone density screening, DEXA scan, for all women 65 and older. Screening for younger postmenopausal women with risk factors. Men with risk factors should discuss screening with their doctor. Follow-up scans as recommended by your healthcare provider. 6. Consider supplementation carefully. While food is always preferred, some people may benefit from supplements. However, always discuss with your healthcare provider first. Get tested to identify actual deficiencies. Be aware of upper limits and potential interactions. Choose high-quality supplements from reputable brands. More is not better. Excessive amounts can be harmful. Let's recap. Zinc, boron, and silicon are 3 powerful minerals that research suggests may play important roles in maintaining bone density after 50. Combined with calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, proper nutrition, and regular exercise, these nutrients may help support strong, resilient bones. Remember, there's no single magic nutrient or quick fix for bone health. The evidence points to a comprehensive approach. Eat a varied, nutrient-dense diet rich in whole foods, stay physically active, avoid bone-damaging habits, and work with your healthcare team to create a personalized bone health strategy. Your bones have carried you through life. Now it's time to take care of them with the right nutrients and lifestyle choices. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to LifeFuel TV for more evidence-based health content. Drop a comment below and let us know, were you surprised by any of these minerals? Thanks for watching, and here's to building stronger bones for a healthier, more active future.